Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news.
This is Faith Under Fire. Each Thursday on Family Life, we give voice to religious battlegrounds in this nation. I'm your host, Tracy Lynn. With us today, Nicole Hunt, life issues analyst with Focus on the Family. Why is it important for Christians to vote?
You know, voting is a privilege. It's an honor to be able to vote in America. And as Christians in particular, we can look at Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people mourn. And I think as Christians, we have a responsibility to look at the Bible, to build our worldview, and to build our values. And so that is why we need to be involved. We need to make sure that we are voting our values when we're going to the ballot box so that we can see people rejoice, we can have our families protected, and in three areas in particular. We should be looking at where do candidates fall on the issue of the sanctity of human life. We know what the Bible says about human life and flourishing, and we want to have policies that protect babies in the womb all the way to the tomb. That's the first issue on life. The second issue is how a candidate respects religious freedom. We should be considering, can I exercise my faith openly and freely in the public square? What kind of policies will this candidate support? Will he support policies that allow me to be able to practice my faith publicly?
Excellent. The Bible may not give us a list when it comes to voting specifically, but are there any other questions you think we should be asking of ourselves and of the candidates?
Yeah, I think another issue that we should consider are parental rights. And I think this because the family is the most basic and fundamental foundational group in the Bible and in the world, really. It all starts with the family. And when we consider our kids, and many of them, you know, if they watch TV or if they go to public schools, are being introduced to toxic, woke ideology that is not the kind of stuff that we would support. But as parents, we know that it is our role and our authority as parents to bring them up in a way that's honoring to the Lord. And so I think it's really important that parents consider the innocence of my child protected. Would this candidate support protecting my family and protecting parental rights and the innocence of my child? I think that's another one we should keep in mind.
Nicole, you make such a good point. The family being, that was the first institution created by God. And
that's right.
As a former education major, I remember we studied what the Bible had to say about who is ultimately responsible for a child's education, and it's the parents. And so when the parents' role is stripped away, there are consequences. We just saw that in Pennsylvania yesterday. A report revealed just how many millions of dollars of Pennsylvania tax funding went to gender reassignment surgeries under the current leadership, the current governor in Pennsylvania. So, wow. Nicole, you are a Christian and former Capitol Hill staffer. What impact do you suspect abortion will have on the midterm elections?
Well, you know, I think that it's really important that Christians vote their values on abortion. I will say that there are 5 states who are considering ballot initiatives this November. They're going to be voting on the sanctity of life. So in 3 of those states, it's a vote to constitutionally protect abortion under the state constitution. And then in 2 of those states, it's a vote to protect life under the state constitution. So what I do know is that these votes matter. And the truth is that a vote for the sanctity of life at your local level, like in your state, has never meant more than it will this election cycle. And that's because of Roe's reversal. Before, this was something that was decided by the Supreme Court 49 years ago. And now these are decisions that the people are now going to be making in the state. And so as Christians who are pro-life, I think it's so important to vote your value on the topic of abortion policy in your state. I will say this, though. I think that there are some out there who are trying to say that abortion is going to be the final determination. I think from folks that I'm talking to, and truly the kind of experience I'm having when I go to the grocery store and the bill feels like it's 20% more expensive than it used to be to feed my family of 6. I'm certainly looking at the economy, and I'm looking at inflation, and I'm seeing how difficult it is for me to be able to put food on the table for my kids because everything costs so much more. So I'm really looking at where are the policies economically going to take my family, because I need to be able to provide for my family. I need to be able to tithe to my church. Still need to be able to support the organizations and the charities that are doing good work for those in our community. And so I want policies and candidates who support policies that are going to help our communities thrive.
Yeah, and it's just like what you said at the very beginning of our discussion. People rejoice under good leadership.
That's right.
That's Nicole Hunt with Focus on the Family. I'm Tracy Lynn, Family Life News.